You keep telling yourself, you lost them, lost the relationship, lost the friendship, lost the connection, lost the people you trusted, lost the ones you gave your heart to. No, that's not what happened. You didn't lose them. You escaped them. People call it loss because they don't understand freedom. They see absence and assume damage. They see distance and assume failure. They see silence and assume weakness. But sometimes, distance is survival, silence is clarity, and absence is the first breath you've taken in years. You weren't abandoned, you were released. Released from explaining yourself to people who enjoyed misunderstanding you. Released from shrinking to make insecure people feel tall. Released from loving harder just to receive crumbs. Released from loyalty that was never returned. Released from emotional labor no one ever thanked you for. You didn't lose them. You got your life back. Let me tell you something. That hurts to hear, but heals forever. What walked away from you was never aligned with where you were going. They couldn't follow you. They couldn't grow with you. They couldn't respect you. They couldn't meet you at your depth. They couldn't survive your evolution. So they left. Or worse, they forced you to leave. And you stayed longer than you should have. Because you confused attachment with love, history with loyalty, and familiarity with safety. That wasn't love. That was a cage. You didn't lose peace. You lost chaos. You didn't lose support. You lost dependence. You didn't lose connection. You lost emotional debt. You didn't lose home. You escaped a place that was slowly killing your spirit. But here's the dark psychology part. Nobody warns you about. The moment you escape, your mind tries to drag you back. Because the brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar peace. So it whispers lies like, maybe it was your fault. Maybe you overreacted. Maybe you should have stayed. Maybe you lost something valuable. No. What you lost was the illusion that they would ever change. They didn't leave because you weren't enough. They left because you were becoming too much for them, too aware, too strong, too honest, too self-respecting, too independent, too hard to manipulate, too difficult to control, too awake. And people who thrive on control can't survive around someone who finally sees clearly. So they call it, you changed. Yeah, you did. You stopped tolerating disrespect, and they couldn't recognize you anymore. You know what real loss looks like? Real loss is staying where you are constantly drained. Real loss is begging for effort. Real loss is explaining your worth. Real loss is silencing yourself to keep the peace. Real loss is loving people who only love the version of you they can use. That's loss. Walking away, that's escape. They want you to believe you lost something special. But look at your life now. Is your chest lighter? Is your mind quieter? Do you breathe deeper? Do you sleep better? Do you think clearer? Do you feel less anxious? Do you question yourself less? That's not loss. That's recovery. You didn't fall apart after they left. You started coming back together. Here's the part they won't admit. They didn't lose you when you walked away. They lost you. The moment they took you for granted, they lost you. Every time they dismissed your feelings, every time they ignored your boundaries, every time they laughed at your pain, every time they chose convenience over loyalty, every time they watched you struggle and did nothing. By the time you left, you were already gone inside. You just took your body with you. Escape feels lonely at first, because your nervous system is detoxing from chaos. You were addicted to fixing, to hoping, to waiting, to forgiving, to giving chances, to loving potential instead of reality. So when peace arrives, it feels empty. But that emptiness, that's not loneliness. That's space. Space to rebuild. Space to think. Space to choose better. Space to meet yourself again, without someone constantly pulling you apart. You didn't lose them. You escaped a version of life where you were never the priority. And one day, not today, not tomorrow, you'll look back and realize walking away was the most loyal thing you ever did for yourself. Some doors don't close to punish you. They close to save you.